Hi and welcome back. In our introductory video segment, we described the importance of having a disaster recovery program for your small business. We also talked about how daunting that can be for small business. But if you remember, I promised to show you a way that you can build a data center on a budget that will allow you access to your critical data even when you're faced with the loss of your physical office or your primary office location. At the core of this program is what we call a live backup system. A live backup system is a direct copy of files from a source drive to a target drive. Unlike regular backups, it is not a single file that is stored as a single file on removable media and is not accessible without some form of extraction. The reason that a live backup system is critical to this program is because it can be directly accessed from the backup media. In other words, our portable drive right here. The steps that we will cover in this section are as follows. First, learning how to copy data from our source drive to our destination drive using the xcopy command. Next, creating and testing a script that will copy all of the necessary data from the source to the destination drive, including file attributes and subfolders. Third, creating a batch file that will run the script that we create. And finally, using the scheduler to automatically run the batch file on a daily basis.
The first step is to find out what data we need to copy and to identify where it's going to be copied to. Simply double-click on the My Computer icon to bring up your list of drives. In our particular case, our network drive is labeled as Drive F, while a removable drive, our iOmega drive, is labeled as Drive E.
While clearly this is not a don't try this at home sort of thing, this is the point where if you are not comfortable with doing this yourself, it's time to stop and consult with either your IT consultant or give us a call. That said, we're going to use a command that's been around since the earliest days of the early MS-DOS platform. It's called xcopy. And that xcopy command simply is a command line way to copy your data from one place to another while retaining specific attributes and leaving it in a format that you can immediately access it. To get to xcopy is as simple as going to the start and then clicking on Run. We need to access a DOS window, so we want to open command, which in Windows XP is, or Windows 2000 is CMD, and click OK. When that happens, you'll see that it's going to open up a DOS window on the screen for you. And that's where we're going to type in the command that's going to copy from one point to another. At its most basic form, xcopy is nothing more than a way to copy files from one location to another. For example, in the root or the highest level of our network drive F, I've created a file called test.txt. It's just a straight text file, and I want to copy it from the root of F to the root of E, our portable drive. The command syntax for that would simply be xcopy f:/test.text space E:// and hit enter. As you can see, one file is copied. If we go over to My Computer, we can see that on our drive F, there's our file called test. Likewise, on our drive E, there's the file we just created called test. So now we see how easy it is to use the xcopy program, right? Well, kinda. It's like this. Xcopy is a very simple file copy routine, but to be effective as a tool to back up your critical data, it needs further instruction on how to handle things like overwriting existing data, creating new folders, and maintaining file attributes. The way that we pass these instructions on to the Xcopy routine is through the use of variable switches. Rather than use up your valuable time and my website bandwidth to teach you about switches, we're going to cheat just a little. Using the control button panels to the right, you can download the sample script and batch file that we use for copying the data and simply replace the drive and folder data for your particular installation. Also, if you do want to learn more about different variables that can be used with the Xcopy command, there's an instruction sheet for this as well. So let's go ahead and create a script that will copy our data for us. The first part of the process is to figure out exactly which files and folders we will need to copy. On our computer, we know that our network drive is identified by the drive letter F, while our backup drive is identified by the drive letter E. For this particular model, we want to copy all of the data from the network drive resource. However, to keep everything together and to make it easier to use the same portable drive for other storage tasks, we want to copy the data to a folder on the portable drive. To do that, we're going to create a folder called Network on our drive as shown. The next step is to create a script and batch routine to copy the data from the source drive to the target drive. The fastest way to do this is to simply open Notepad by clicking on Start, All Program, or Programs for you Windows 2000 users, Accessories, and Notepad. Now we simply type out our script. Again, feel free to download and modify the sample script that is located under the Download section of this lesson. You do not need to remember each and every command and switch, though for the sake of clarity, I will explain the commands as I type them. Actually, you can get pretty creative with batch scripting, including commands that will prompt you for specific variables and will generate a report to let you know that the batch file is run successfully. If you feel like experimenting, we've included some samples of more advanced batch scripts under the Download section of this lesson as well. Be warned, however, that you should not experiment with your critical data. If you want to test out and tweak these files, do so with caution and using only sample data. If you are not comfortable with the process, you should ask your IT consultant for help or call us. I want to stress that it is indeed possible for you to overwrite and erase your critical data if you get in beyond your capabilities. So don't be afraid to call for help. Now, let's go ahead and write a script to copy the data from our network to our portable drive.